Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is welcome to Trading with Livevol. I am actually gonna add earnings report today too, because I'm gonna have some guests. They're part of the Silicon Valley Options Group, so they're nice enough to visit. Currently, so they're gonna be joining me here after this blog that I'm doing, video blog. But basically what this show is about is I use my real Reg T account to trade, and I use LVX, and you guys can see how I trade using the software and what some of the benefits are. So let's just go right to it. This is my account. So it looks like I'm up currently about $2,000, which is a pretty good day for me. Most of it is from just basically Facebook. Actually, I can pretty much say all of it is from Facebook. And I can cover some of that. In fact, I'll just cover that right now. So they had their earnings announcements. I thought it was really good. And basically, I sold the Strangle beforehand because I didn't think it was going to move too much. So I sold the May Strangle, then basically I bought them back, and then I sold this because I thought it was going to hang out at 62, and then but it didn't happen and just started going down. So it went down to around here, and then now I thought it would stay here for a few more days before it came back up by May expiration. So you know, I still have 16 days to go before it expires, but it's almost back to where I thought it was going to be. So when it was going up, all I did was just close out my shorts, and I bought 10 more of these, and so far it's working out really well. So this is what I have. I originally did the SEP 65, May 65 call spread because this person did this spread a bunch of times, and I thought it was a really good strategy considering where Facebook was at. So I piggybacked his strategy, which made me confident in selling the Strangle for the earnings, and now you know, I'm pretty happy that it's just hanging out here for now. I guess the real question is, you know, what am I going to do with my May position? Am I going to keep it, or what am I going to do? And my thinking was that Facebook, let me actually punch it up here. I was thinking like maybe around 63 would be where I might actually start hedging all my position or selling out. So I'm going to wait for it to go to about $63, then I might maybe sell out of the 62s, or maybe roll them all into 65s, right? So basically I have, what I'm saying by that is, see, I have 4 of these SEP 65s. I might sell the May 65 to hedge, to put on this time spread, and then basically either close out this position fully, or maybe do some kind of ratio spread, or just a regular spread, depending on how I think the stock's going to do. So my consensus, my thinking is that it's going to hang out here. Maybe I'll start hitting some resistance right around the 65 area, but it might actually hit it before then. So if you look at this, it might hit it before. Sometimes I look at the hourlies just to kind of see where it is on the Bollinger Band. So you see how it's like kind of like consolidating here. I fully expect this thing to have the next move going up once this green line right here, the 7-hour moving average, catches up and stuff like that. So it doesn't always work out perfectly, but sometimes I kind of gauge these Bollinger Bands to see how far it's run up and down, right? So that's kind of my thing on Facebook. Right now, I'm doing pretty good since I'm up about $2,000. I was kind of, I made $1,000 right after the earnings, So I was pretty happy, but then I got upset because I pretty much lost that and maybe another 1,000 at my lowest point, putting on this trade, additional trade. But now it looks like it's kind of really paying dividends for me, and hopefully I can continue and make some more money. Have Facebook go up to 63 bucks, but we'll see how it goes. Originally, why I did keep this on was because this person did this 1x2, where they sold 2 of the 70s and bought 1 of the 60s. So you know, I'm thinking that guy's right. It's gonna end up somewhere in the middle here. So we'll see how it goes. So that's Facebook. So Yelp, my whole contention in these momentum stocks was no matter, just to show how fast my sometimes your thinking has to change. Is my whole thinking was all these momentum stocks, no matter what their earnings, are going to get sold off. Apparently that has not happened in Yelp, and so I kind of want to show you what I did today. I sold these for 35 cents. Now this morning it was like 10 bid at 35, so I put in 35. I just kind of forgot about it, and then before I knew it, I got filled. So I'll show you these trades. So I got filled right at 11:54. Actually, no, at 10:30, right? So I got filled for 35 cents, and then it ran up. So that's basically, you know, it was like somewhere here, and then I waited. I had to wait because I didn't think it was going to keep running because it was already up like 14% or something by that time. So I waited until it came back down, and I bought these, the May 67.5 for 35. So I have this spread on for even, but originally I sold this because I thought Yelp and Facebook will move kind of in tandem. So I was just trying to pay for some of my Facebook calls by selling some of the Yelp calls. And the Yelp calls basically were expiring in 2 days, so I thought if I sold some of those, it might be pretty good. So that's how it started. And but you know, now I have this call spread for even. And now I was trying to sell these for 50, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get it for now. So that's my position in Yelp. There was a couple of interesting trades that came up. So I thought I should mention it. One is in Quicksilver. So I was looking at my usual watch list trades. So here I have all these trades. There are blocks of 1,000 or more. And then I saw this, August 8 for 28 cents, and then subsequently I saw all these other things trade, right? So you see this 11,300. Almost all of them are the August, the June, no, not June, the August 8 calls, right? So, you know, if I look at the chart, it maybe kind of might have bottomed. So maybe it is bullish. It seemed like a pretty good bet, piggybacking these guys. Now, the volatility is a little bit higher than what I would like. It's 37 percentile. So I was thinking I'll offset it by selling these, right? So I'll do the August, June 8 call spread, and basically what I'm hoping to do is that Quicksilver won't hit $8 by June, but maybe it will hit that by August. So I'll have June, July to sell against this August calls I bought. So that was kind of like my premise, right? So I had this working order in Quicksilver where I'm willing to pay 12 cents, and I'm going to reduce my cost basis in this. Now, just for you guys who are watching this, look at the delta. Delta is only 27, right? So there's many different definitions of delta, but one of them is probability that they'll be in the money. So as you can see, buying these just naked, it's just low probability. So I wouldn't mind hedging it to offset it a little. The other one is Hovnanian. This is a home builder. So let me go to the stats. You see all these June 5 calls being bought. 10,000 of them. So that's a pretty decent chunk. It's 50 cents away. You know, if I look at it, it's not like they have earnings coming up anytime soon. So let's see when the earnings are. Oh, actually, yeah. So basically, they're buying the June options. Yeah, so these will be the earnings options, most likely. And I think maybe they're thinking by then Hovnanian is going to have some upside, right? So it seems like not a bad play. I like it. You know, it remains to be seen. If I look at the stats, it's at the 43 percentile. I can look at the past earnings. So you see how this earnings, like the volatility kind of went up, right? So you can see it went to like around 70, 72, 50 something, and then 66, right? That's kind of where the volatility is going to go. The June is 46, but obviously you're going to have time decay. So yeah, the volatility might go up, but the time decay might actually eat on this price, the premium, if nothing happens. But I don't think it's that bad if you can do some spreading. I was thinking maybe doing the June, May 5, 4.5 call spread, but these are like the at the money. So you're basically selling the at the monies, and I'm not, I don't know. Basically, I'm not that sure if that's the right trade. Let me actually go to HOV daily. Right, so it's kind of like here, if you look at the weeklies, right, so it was kind of like trending down, had this pop, and now it's like back on this downtrend. So it doesn't give me that much confidence. Maybe it might have another pop in it. You can see last time it went from 5 to 6.5, so there could be some dramatic pop in this, and owning the 5s doesn't seem that bad. You can possibly make 500% return, but the chance of it coming in also is also low. So you have to take that into consideration. So that was one. The one that interested me the most is this EQT Corporation. You see this 5,000. So one thing that I have to see is if this is opening and closing. Most likely, if you click on it, you see this blue line. That's the open interest, and then this was the volumes, right? So yesterday there was 3,700 that traded, and today the open interest is 3,800. So yesterday they traded, and basically you see all these trading, and they were created, right? So they were opening. So we'll see what happens if you go to those today. If you look at them, and I'm going to time and sales right now, you see how they were buying them this morning, and even the 6,000 lot that traded. See if I can see it. So they're buying, buying, buying. Let's see if I'm actually at the right one. Okay, sorry. I was just trying to see. So as you can see, they were buying. I'm trying to find the 6,000 lot. So you can see the couple of thousand here that they were buying, So they're buying a lot of these May 10s, and for some reason, yeah. So this only greater than 500. And so for some reason, it's actually giving me right. So this is all option trades, but for some reason, it's actually giving me yesterday's. Now it's not actually giving me today. See how these traded 65 yesterday? These are yesterday's options. The ones that I'm clicking. All of the ones that traded today traded for like 25 cents, like 225, 210, right? So, and I'll try to find out later what happened. But basically, like you see this chart, to me, it looks pretty bullish. And for those of you guys who don't know this stock, they are a natural gas company. So what's the symbol for that? UNG, maybe? Right. So, you know, maybe it might follow this natural gas trend. Let's see if that's actually similar. Yeah, so basically this stock's just been going up this whole time. So maybe people are thinking it's going to go above 110. So you see how like it's kind of like bouncing off very nicely. So in this instance, I kind of like this order flow and this this bet. But obviously, it's you just buying just naked out of the money calls, which isn't like really the best thing. The thing that I like doing in general. So, you know, I was kind of thinking of what to do. So they're paying 165. Now they're paying like 225, 210, 215. So, you know, in the end, this is the most interest that I have on the three that I've seen. But there isn't really. I'm not really sure exactly how to go about putting on this position, right? Maybe the right play is doing the May 105, 110 call spread, right? And as you guys know, you know, I always like buying, doing a trade where if I'm correct, I make money, and if I am incorrect and the stock, but it's a push, I make money, right? So if you pay $3.15 for the spread, right, basically you'll break even as 108.15, which is currently the stock is trading higher. But you know, you have chance to make like 175, 185 if you get it for this price, because the spread is only worth $5 maximum. So it's none of it is really like screaming at me, but I might do something here later on this trade. So that's about it on my trading and what's happening today. I kind of like, there's like a lot more stocks that I would like to trade, but just in general, my limited account only lets me do so much. So also one of the other things I have are these calls are kind of like completely unrelated to the software. It's just you know, I'm bullish, so I bought these for like 310, and then I bought a little bit more for like 340 or something. So see how it goes. I don't think I'm gonna keep it long, but I'm kind of bullish on the marketplace. So I bought those calls. But maybe, you know, I guess I'm pretty comfortable having them, but it would be nice if it made a move up. So that's it for the trading part. There's tons of earnings, and I didn't really actually go through them, but let me actually go through them with you guys. So there's, you know, AKAM technology. So they do a lot of the stuff that they have the technology for the videos, right? Look at the stats. Basically, it's at the 90th percentile. It's saying it's implying a 2.9%, 6.9% move currently, and in the past 4 quarters, 4 earnings announcements, it's moved 13.1%. One thing of note, I don't know what this spread is, May 55.60. Maybe it's selling, but it could be buying. But overall, nothing that big. But for those of you guys who like to trade this, you know, maybe you know something, and you know, I think this is going up with the rest of the high beta stocks today. But maybe they might have some good earnings. Looks like they had some good earnings last time, so maybe they might have another good one coming up. But anyway, that's AKAM right there. I probably won't do anything, but maybe there is something to do. So it's at the 90th percentile. Expedia, pretty much, it's at the 74th percentile. It's saying it's going to move 3.1%, and basically it moved 1.4% the past 4 earnings. Just looking at this, selling puts, buying calls, buying puts. Yeah, nothing here that kind of screams out anything for me here. Let's go to ITMN, Intermune. I think they do software. Oh, it's a biotechnology company. My bad. So it's at the 45 percentile. It's saying it's going to move 8.1%. The options order flow, and basically it's moved 12.1% the past 4 earnings announcements. KBR. Let's see. A lot of straddle buying. It's at the 71 percentile. Yeah, and nothing too big. It's what's it saying? The options are implying a 5.3% move on the stock tomorrow. It's moved an average of 5.6% the last 4 times. Let's look at Craft stats. It's at the 32 percentile. Looks like the largest is buying the 55 puts. Look at the chart. It looks pretty much range bound. It's saying it's going to move 1.8%, the options, and it moved 4% the last 4 earnings. LinkedIn. Okay, looks like it's had a pretty good rebound. They're going to actually announce earnings today after the close. It's at the 81 percentile. It's predicting an 8% move, and it's moved 9.8% the last 4 earnings. My general sense is, yeah, I don't know. It could be anything. Like and I don't think LinkedIn is one of the stronger of these companies, like compared to Facebook and even Yelp. I feel like those 2 companies are a little bit stronger. But you know, in the long term, I think they'll figure it out. LinkedIn as well, just because, you know, I use LinkedIn quite a bit, and I think they're pretty good. But I don't think they're quite as good as like, to me, the Facebook is #1, and then there are a few others. But But yeah, I don't think they're as good as Facebook. WYNN, this is a casino company. Let's see. It's at the 74th percentile. It's saying the options are implying a 3.8% move. It's moved 2.8% the last 4 earnings. So that's that, and the calls and puts are pretty much even. So I think it's still up in the air. Okay. Let's see, Pfizer. So I don't know how much Pfizer is going to move on earnings. I think it might depend more on the acquisition of AstraZeneca. I think that's what the news is. So yeah, I mean, like if I look at the stats, it's at the 87th percentile, saying implying a 2.5% move. It's moved 2.3%. These Jan 34 calls might be a buy, but you know, I wouldn't know for sure. Looks like somebody's buying the June 32 calls and selling the June 30 puts, but you know, who knows? They're probably doing that with stock, right? But in either case, the calls are outpacing the puts 3-to-1. But even on the average is 2.4-to-1, so it's not like it's that big of a difference, right? I think this is Cisco. These guys is not, maybe less familiar to you guys unless you guys are in the food industry. They do more food product stuff. So they deliver food to restaurants. But anyway, looks like a lot of call selling, but only 500 contracts, implying a 2% move, and it's moved 3.2%. You know, so I don't know. It basically hasn't moved really, and the options that people are selling are these May 37 and 38. If I click on them, yeah. Yeah, so it could be like one of your buy right plays, who knows? But it seems like there's decent amount of open interest at the right around the at the monies, and the premium isn't really that high, so it's not. They're not really expecting the stock to move anywhere. Now, normally you can maybe say, hey, you should sell those, but you know, if you're collecting like 20, 30 cents, basically, you know, you can get crushed if something crazy happens in the stock, right? So like you see this little spike, it could crush you. And I don't know why this happened. I don't know if it was an error or something, but basically if anything crazy happens, you can get run over, and it's definitely not a good feeling. And it's happened to me a few times, and it doesn't take much for you not to want to do those things ever again. So that's that kind of wraps it up for me. Hope your trading is going well. Just for your sake, I'm just interim very bullish on the market. I think it's going to go up at least until, and when I say bullish, I'm talking about the SPX going like 10 more points higher, right? Just so you guys have some context of what I'm talking about for now in the short term. But I like to kind of go with the trend usually, and right now I'm kind of hoping the jobs report turns out pretty well. Not sure if it's going to have a huge impact. A lot of times I just feel like all the economic news is kind of like filler for the TVs, and people who are going to make those bets already decided long time before those news comes out. So my general sense is that you know, that we're kind of on an uptrend, and the fact that like all these high beta names are kind of taking off a little bit, maybe at least for a short time the rotation isn't on fully, right? So it's May 1st, and new money came in, and maybe the rotation is a little bit different. In terms of the high beta, I do feel like Facebook is a little bit different. So in terms of Facebook, I'm definitely a long time bull on Facebook. In terms of valuation, I'm not sure if $60 is a fair value or not fair value. I'm not a financial analyst, but in the long term, I think you will do well owning the stock, because I think they probably might be the next kind of like Google, right? I remember Microsoft replaced IBM, and then Google kind of replaced Microsoft, and then I kind of have a sense that maybe Facebook will replace them. I didn't forget about Apple. I just feel like they're kind of a different category, so I didn't actually include them in that. But in terms of these like web-based companies, I think that's kind of like where it's headed. So I hope your trading goes well. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Yeah, that's about it. The earnings report, I had to kind of mix it in together, but going forward, I am going to try to find time to have many little reports instead of having one long one. But take care, and talk to you guys tomorrow.